Welcome to this webinar on OasisNXT. My name's Jody. Today I'll go through a section of OasisNXT. OasisNXT is the latest fitting software from Bernafon, and you'll need to use it when programming Zerena hearing instruments. As we go through the demonstration, you'll notice that OasisNXT has a brand new, fresher and more modern look about it, and the fitting flow is really streamlined. I'm going to access OasisNXT through the standalone version. However, if you want to, you can also access it through NOAA. In this module, I'm going to cover how to end a session of programming a pair of Zerena 9 Mini-Right-T hearing instruments. Regardless of whether you're fitting Zerena 9, Zerena 7 or Zerena 5, the end session section is the same for all different product levels. So now we've finished programming the hearing aids, we've adjusted all of the features, and we now come to the end session. So the end session menu is comprised of controls, indicators, and save and quit. If you've been working with Oasis in the past, you'll know that you can individualize the volume control and the indicator settings for your client. And you can also give them access to a specific volume control range if you would like to. That all happens in the General tab. But what's new is that we also have this Tinnitus tab. We'll have a look at that in just a moment. So the default for all the different styles is that you've got the program change turned on. You've also got the mute function turned on. You can also control the volume control button, and if you do turn that on, then it's automatically synchronized. We can see here that using the local controls, we can use that to adjust the volume of the microphone, the hearing aid microphone, in all of the 4 programs. We have access to the volume control range down here, and it goes from -20 to +10, all the way down to -30 to 0. If we would like to, we can adjust the startup delay as well. So let's see what happens in the Tinnitus tab. Note that we've got our volume control on and it's active for all 4 programs. If we go to the Tinnitus tab, we have the tinnitus sound support in program 3, and we can turn the volume control on. If we turn the volume control on in program 3, then every time the local controls are used and a short press is used for the local volume control, then it's actually adjusting the level of the tinnitus sound. It's not changing the sound, the volume of the hearing aid microphone, it's only adjusting the tinnitus sound. By default, these are not synchronized, so if you want to, you can synchronize them. And we also need to have a look at the maximum wearing time. It's your responsibility as a hearing care professional to guide your client and to inform the client about the maximum amount of time they can use these hearing aids with the tinnitus sound on. So if they're just wearing them at startup volume, then they could happily wear the devices in the tinnitus program for 19 hours. But if they turn the volume up to maximum, then they can only wear it for 3 hours. You'll notice that as I increase the volume control range, and therefore they're able to make it louder and louder, then the maximum wearing time will also decrease. Now they're only allowed to wear it for 2 hours. What we recommend is that you write it in their instruction for use booklet so that they've got that information relatively easily available. We've now turned the volume control on in program 3. So what has that done in the General tab? In the General tab, now the volume control for the hearing aid microphones is only available in programs 1, 2 and 4. In program 3, the local control will adjust the volume of the tinnitus sound. If you want to be able to adjust the volume of the hearing aid microphones in program 3, then you will need to do that via the app. Let's have a look at the indicators. Now these are probably very familiar to you. We have a number of audible indicators, and there are some new ones as well. We haven't had these tinnitus ones in the past. You can play a demonstration to your client to make sure that they are able to hear it. You can adjust the level of the indicator, and you can adjust the frequency of the indicator. There are two other new ones, and these ones you can't turn off. So there's the flight mode. And the client can put the instruments into flight mode by pushing the button and holding it for at least 7 seconds. What that does is that it removes the Wi-Fi, it removes the connection so that you can turn it off while you're flying. Some airlines require you to do this, but not all. You can have a listen to the flight mode indicator by simply clicking on the play over here on the right. There's also a new service repair mode indicator, and what it will do is it will beep 7 times, and it will do that 4 times over. So 7 times, then another 7, then another 7, and another 7. And what it's telling the client is that there's something about to fail with the hearing aid, or something's about to go wrong, and they need to take it into the hearing centre to get it checked out. And finally, we move to the Save and Quit submenu. Before we actually save and quit, let's have a look at the information that's provided on this display. We can see that we have 4 programs available. However, if you did change the names of the programs in program assignment during your fitting, they won't be transferred here. The names of the programs will still be what OasisNXT gives the names. The renamed programs will have the correct names when you use the app. We can also see that there are 3 paired devices, and if we want to find out more information about the paired devices, simply click here, and we can see that these hearing aids are paired to a smartphone and also to a TVA. We can unpair them here if you want to. However, the accessory that you have paired them to will still think that that hearing aid is paired to it. So you need to unpair it on the accessory as well. We also have the opportunity here of turning the data logging off. Now I'm linked at the moment, so therefore that turned it off on both devices. But let's say we only want the data logging turned on the left. We could also turn off the binaural communication. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you do that. I would generally keep it as turned on. And finally, we can end the session. So here it's showing that the devices are still connected, and now we can save it. If we wish to, we can put a comment into the session, and we simply push save. And that's it. We have programmed our Zerena hearing instruments. We now have access to our session. If we want to delete the session, we can simply click on the dash here, and that will delete the session. That completes this module on OasisNXT. We have 4 modules in the series. Module 1 showing client data and hearing instrument selection. Module 2 fitting Zerena hearing instruments. Module 3 feature selection in Zerena hearing instruments. And Module 4 save and exit with Zerena hearing instruments. If you would like to have a look at any of these, feel free